Hola estudiantes, today we're talking about adjectives. So first off, to find these adjectives that we're really dealing with in this chapter, we are in chapter 3, so you'll want to make sure that you are in that chapter in Voces, and then click on that Lista de Vocabulario, and that will take you here. So we are really focusing on adjectives that are frequently used with the verbs ser and estar. So let's get into this. So the grammar of adjectives in Spanish is different than it is in English in a couple of ways. First off, in Spanish, adjectives typically go after the noun instead of before. Now, this works with English in these first couple of examples. The boy is tall, the girl is smart. In this case, the noun and adjectives are separated by a verb. So to take a look at these, if I want to say the boy is tall, I'll say el chico, the boy, and then is S. And then our word for tall, if we're not sure, we're going to look at our vocabulary list and we'll find it right there at the very top. Alto is the word for tall. So, el chico es alto. To say the girl is smart, it's just going to be a word for word translation. So the girl, la chica, and then is S. And our word for smart is inteligente. So that's pretty straightforward. Now, when we get down to these next couple of sentences, we have our noun and our adjective right next to each other. So again, adjectives are going to go after the noun. So in English, when we have those together, our adjective goes before the noun. So we are going to actually, instead of saying the tall boy, you can kind of think in your mind, the boy who is tall. So we're going to start with the boy, el chico, and then we're going to put our word for tall after chico, el chico alto. And then to say speaks, that will be habla. And then Spanish, in Spanish, is español. All right, the smart girl speaks Spanish. So up here, la chica es inteligente, the girl is smart. Here we're saying the smart girl. And again, we're going to move our adjective to after our noun. So I'm going to start with the girl, la chica. And then we'll put smart after chica, inteligente. Speaks is still habla, and español. La chica inteligente habla español. So that is the first way where Spanish is going to be different from English. So they go after the noun instead of before. Now the second one is a big deal. Adjectives must agree with their nouns in gender and number. Now we're going to focus first off on gender. What we mean by that is that adjectives can either be masculine or they can be feminine. So that is definitely different from English. We just have one type of adjective and it's just the word, we don't change it. So when you look up an adjective in a dictionary, typically you are going to have the masculine singular version of that adjective. And that's just kind of the default. So then if our adjective ends in an O, but we're talking about a feminine noun, then I need to change that O to an A. If that adjective ends in dor, but I need to make it feminine, I'm going to change dor to dora. If it ends in anything else, we are going to leave it alone. Now there is one tricky ending for adjectives. If it ends in ista, that looks feminine, but ista can either be masculine or feminine. So don't be tempted to change an ending to isto. That is not a thing. So something like if I want to say someone is athletic or sports-minded, the word is deportista, and that would be talking about a masculine noun or a feminine noun. We don't need to change that. All right, so let's try this out on a few sentences. First off, the boy is tall. So we said the boy is el chico es. And then our word for tall is alto. If I want to change that to the girl is tall, alto ends in an O, so it's going to be la chica es, the girl is. And then I'm going to take that basic word alto change that O to an A. La chica es alta. All right, next up, he is hardworking. Él is he. Es is. Now this one, if I look it up in a dictionary, hardworking, I'm going to find the word trabajador. Since he is masculine and singular, I'm going to leave trabajador alone. But when I'm changing this to talk about she, ella es, she is. Again, take that basic word, trabajador, change that door to dora, just add an A there, es trabajadora. All right, I've got a couple of tricky ones for us. The young man is smart. So the young man, we actually have two adjectives here, young and smart. And then man is our noun. Now, that noun is the boss of the sentence. Everything has to agree with it. The young woman is smart. Same thing. We have young and smart as our two adjectives. And now our noun is woman. So everything has to agree with those nouns. So to say the young man, keep in mind, remember what we learned, adjectives must go after their noun. So I'm going to say the man who is young is smart. So el hombre, the man, and then I'm going to put young after hombre. Young in Spanish is joven, and then es smart, inteligente. All right, to talk about the young woman being smart. So this one, I'm going to write the woman who is young is smart. So the woman will be la mujer. Young is joven. Es for is, smart, inteligente. So we have our word order right. We moved our adjective to after our noun. We need to double check for adjective agreement. Joven ends in an N. That's not O or dor. It is anything else, so we're going to leave it alone. Inteligente ends in an E. That is not O or dor. It's anything else, so we're going to leave it alone. So we actually ended up with the same adjectives for el hombre and la mujer. All right, so we have that they have to agree in gender and number. We got gender. Let's talk about number. So when we say number, we're talking about singular or plural. Is it the one boy? Is it more than one boy? Is it the one girl? Is it several girls? So we do have to change this adjective sometimes to make it plural. So the rules for this are fairly simple. They're the same as making nouns plural. So if you have an adjective or a noun that ends in a vowel, all you do is add S to that word. If your word ends in a consonant, we're going to add ES. Now let's back up a little bit. A vowel, if we don't know what that is any word that ends in A, E, I, O, or U. Consonant is anything else. Now if it ends in the letter Z, which doesn't happen super frequently, but we do have the word feliz. So if your word is feliz or something else that ends in a Z, we are going to change that Z to C, then add ES. And there's just something about ZE in Spanish that we just do not like. We're never going to do that. Anytime it would be ZE, we will change that Z to a C. So if we want to say happy with feliz, we're going to change that Z to a C and add ES if that noun is plural. All right, so let's take a look at these. The boy is tall. So el chico es alto. We've done this one a couple of times now. El chico es alto. To change that to the girl is tall, we said that was la chica es. Change that O to an A, alta. To say the boys are tall, los chicos. And then S is to say are, we're going to say son. Now we're going to take this basic word alto and we've got to make it plural. Alto ends in an O, which is a vowel, so we're going to add S, son altos. To say the girls are tall, las chicas son. Again, take that basic word alto. We need to change it to an A to take care of the gender, and then to make it plural, Alta, A is a vowel, so we're going to add an S there. All right, next up, she is a young woman, he is a young man, and the plural versions of those. So to say she is a young woman, she is ella es a. Remember, we want the feminine word for a. So una. Now, young woman, young is an adjective, woman is a noun. We need our adjective to go after the noun. So una mujer joven. He is a young man. Él es. Go with that masculine word for un. Same thing. Young after man. Hombre joven. Now again, in both of these, man and woman are, that word joven ends in an N, so it already agrees. You don't have to change anything. Don't have to add any O's, add any A's, or anything like that. All right, last couple. They are young women. So we're saying ellas. Instead of S, we're going to say son, are. Young women, move young to after women. So mujer is woman. We want to make that plural. R is a consonant, so we're going to add ES there. And then young, joven, we need to make that plural. It ends in a consonant, so we're going to add ES there. And then they are young men. Ellos son. Move young to after men, so they are hombres. And then joven, again, it ends in an N, which is a consonant, so we will add ES there. So that's it. Adjectives must agree with their nouns in gender and number. Hasta luego.